CItrusTV's Ricky Sayer is in studio to break down rising coronavirus cases at Syracuse University, how this spike could impact the rest of the fall semester.
Plus, SU students share their experiences voting in the 2020 election. I spoke with students from swing states about the importance of their votes.
And the Student Association is providing SU students with a special treat ahead of the holidays, how students can take advantage of free transportation. Syracuse University COVID-19 cases are on the rise tonight. The university nearly reaching 100 cases within a 2-week period today. I'm Anthony Dabbundo.
And I'm Michael Furnarihave. Today, 14 new positive cases were reported on campus. None were reported outside of CNY. This brings the total number of cases at SU to 79 and 1 positive case outside of CNY.
And today we reached 98 positive cases between the dates of October 24th and November 6th. SU came dangerously close to breaking the 100 case threshold, meaning the university would have to move to online classes for 2 weeks. We go now to CItrusTV's Ricky Sayer. Ricky, how could today's numbers impact the rest of the semester?
Thanks, Anthony. Syracuse is back from the brink of classes moving online for 2 weeks. The university adding 14 new COVID-19 cases today. There are 79 total active cases. SU came just 2 cases away from New York State, forcing them online. 98 total cases here at SU over the past 2 weeks. The state is forcing universities online if they add 100 new COVID-19 cases in a specified 2-week span. The current 2-week period ends tonight. This means that in the state's eyes, SU's COVID-19 case count will reset to 0. One thing we are keeping a close eye on is the number of students in quarantine. Officials told us that at the start of the semester, they may be forced to move classes online themselves if they run out of quarantine rooms. SU added 167 students in quarantine today, bringing that total to 465. It means that if there are 18,000 students on campus right now, that about 2.6% of students are in quarantine. University spokesperson Sarah Scalise said they are housing students in multiple locations. We know SU has been working with hotels to possibly hold quarantine students. In a statement, Vice Chancellor Haney made note of the differences with these cases and those we've seen in the past. He said many of these new cases cannot be traced to super spreader events or one-off activities situated within our campus community. Instead, a great many of the new cases we are confirming are not connected directly to campus activities, but instead stem from numerous sources of exposure across the Central New York community. We'll make sure to keep you updated on the latest developments. Michael, Anthony, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ricky. And the latest at the SU Flu Clinic. Today was the last day to get your flu shot through Syracuse University. Now, students must get their shots through another medical provider, but proof of vaccination must be shown in the SU Health Patient Portal. According to the Barnes Center, students must have a flu shot in order to attend in-person classes and use on-campus facilities next semester.
And as we get closer to calling a winner in this year's presidential election, Syracuse University's students coming from swing states recognize the importance of their vote. Our CItrusTV reporter Louise Rath broke down what this year's election means for these students.
For students coming from these swing states, their votes are playing a critical role in this year's election. As the margins narrow in Pennsylvania, students hailing from the state reflect on the national spotlight their communities are getting.
My mom texted me and was like, we're a swing state, we're kind of important to this election. And I was like, oh, yeah, and then I started doing research and I was like, yeah, we are.
Students from Pennsylvania have also expressed frustration with how long it is taking for their state's ballots to be counted, saying this has gone on longer than they expected.
I think they're taking their sweet time. I was hoping it'd be a little quicker. I did see a lot of things saying that it would probably last until Friday. I assumed that they would be out by this morning, but I guess it's taking a little longer than I expected.
With the election hinging on Pennsylvania's results, it's still unclear which candidate will emerge as the victor. And although the odds are currently in favor for former Vice President Joe Biden to win the state, some say it's too soon to call the winner.
I don't think it'll be a clear winner, but I think we'll have a better idea at the end of today. I think it's going to be a little while longer until we fully know, so...
And while Pennsylvania has not been called, other swing states have. Students coming from these swing states were forced to vote by mail in this year's election. And while Texas was called days ago, one student missed the opportunity to cast her vote for president in her highly contested state.
It kind of hurt, especially since I'm from Texas, but Houston was relatively Democratic, so it was fine in that sense, but it still kind of hurt.
The Associated Press has not yet called a victor in many of these swing states, but students will continue to speculate until the final tally is called. For CItrusTV News, I'm Louise Rath.
Thanks, Louise. And students are planning their trips home for Thanksgiving break. This year, their vacation lasts nearly 2 months. And today, the Student Association announced that they'll be offering free transportation to students heading home for the end of the semester. SA President Justine Hastings announced they will be sponsoring shuttle buses to both the William F. Walsh Regional Transportation Center and the Syracuse Hancock International Airport. Travel dates and schedules have not been finalized, but Hastings added that more information will be available to students soon.
In honor of Transgender Day of Remembrance today, Syracuse University will be hosting Siji Swayulu. The unique event is a two-found play about indigenous Salvatorian culture and diaspora. The virtual show will follow the story of a Native American trans woman looking to find her purpose in the world. The event will be held at 7 p.m. tonight via Zoom and requires pre-registration. You can find more information on how to attend on the SU calendar.
And happening now, if you're looking for a fun start to your weekend, Orange After Dark will be hosting a slew of events tonight. OAD is currently at Destiny USA's WonderWorks ropes course and laser tag venue. You can join on the fun until 11 p.m. A ticket, a valid SU ID, and a mask are required to attend. And also tonight, the organization will be showing a screening of Black Panther at 11 p.m. in HBC. There is no ticket needed, but arrive early. Entry is on a first-come, first-served basis with limited capacity. A valid SU ID will be required to attend.
And the first Autothon Miracle Day will take place tomorrow. The event was created this year to represent the original Autothon 2020 date. Now, because the spring event is 113 days away, Autothon is looking to register 113 people. For this weekend only, students can use the code Miracle Day for 25% off of registration for the spring event. And I don't know what it is, but every time we seem to be hosting here at Live at 6, the weather seems to be absolutely incredible. This is 2 straight times now. I think we need to start hosting every single week just so we can get the good weather.
That might be it. Is it the spring? Is it the summer? Is it the fall? Who knows? It's unbelievable, walking around with the sunglasses and the shorts on.
It has been fun, but CItrusTV weather anchor Walker Simmons is here to tell us if the warm weather is here to stick around for the weekend.
Yeah, guys, I mean, personally myself, I'm confused. Let's not forget it snowed on Monday. Right now it's 61 degrees and fairly sunny outside. It's going to be a really nice weekend also. And taking a look into tonight, it does drop a little bit. We go down to about 57 degrees, but we're still smooth sailing and nice temperatures. We shouldn't really be expecting any rain this weekend also. Just a little clouds coming in on Saturday. Nothing too serious. Also, keep in mind we will be seeing a constant wind throughout these next couple of days. Just a nice breeze, and honestly is just heightening the great weather we're experiencing right now. And then, of course, waking up tomorrow morning, it drops again a little bit. The wind does hold back. We'll see about 5-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow morning. And a plus note, we will see an increase in humidity. So we'll see around a 75% increase in humidity. And then, of course, later on throughout the day, that will go down just a little bit. But don't take my word for it about how nice the weather is right now. Listen to some of SU students and what they have to say about being outdoors.
It's been really nice, and it's awesome that I can just sit down and do homework if I need to, instead of having to go to the library where it gets super hot because you have warm clothes on and it's all a mess. So here it's just I can do short sleeves and hang out.
It's a good treat because, I'm from North Carolina and I've been expecting some harsh winters. We had snow the other day, but 70 degrees, I'm not complaining in a lovely November day.
And despite the nice weather, Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon held an emergency press conference today amid the rise in COVID-19 cases. McMahon stressed the consequences of what happens when citizens continue to take part in large gatherings.
Out of the 149 cases, 24 were related to a cluster in higher ed. The reality is large gatherings have consequences, whether it's college, neighborhoods, professionals, and we're seeing it everywhere. So 23 cases related to gatherings.
Now, McMahon also said that the infection rate reached 2.17%, the highest since early summer. With the rise in cases, asymptomatic testing will be offered by the county for free on Monday at the F Shed at the regional market. And Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh is back in quarantine after another potential exposure to COVID-19 from a city employee who tested positive. Neither the mayor or the employee are experiencing symptoms, and no information has been reported about exactly who the employee is. But the mayor used this as a reminder to the community to keep vigilant about stopping the spread of COVID-19. He will quarantine for 14 days and get tested again next week.
New York State officials will meet in Syracuse this weekend to discuss CNY's surge in COVID-19 cases. Governor Andrew Cuomo is looking to put additional restrictions in place. He cited the counties of Erie, Monroe, and Onondaga as potential hotspots in New York, and he also mentioned how Syracuse and Cicero are two of the biggest problem areas. There is no word, though, on what type of restrictions will be set, but Cuomo is expected to decide this by Monday.
And coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, votes are still being counted in the 2020 election 3 days after Election Day. I'm going to break down what's still being counted and what you guys can expect. Stay with us.
And the United States breaks another COVID-19 record, how the nation is dealing with the rise in positive cases. After the break.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Overnight ballots from both Pennsylvania and Georgia have shifted both states in favor of Joe Biden. And while it is still too early to call some of these states, signs seem to point to an imminent victory for the former vice president.
With us tonight is Rob Flax, who's here to answer all the important questions. Rob, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, if we take a look as it stands, Joe Biden is right now on the edge of an electoral college victory, but him and the rest of the country, they're going to be staying on that edge for quite some time. As more mail-in ballots continue to be counted, Joe Biden's lead is growing, but in places like Maricopa County with over 250,000 votes left to be counted, we might not have a result until the end of the weekend. And if we look now to Georgia, Biden leads the president by just 4,260 votes, and that's not the only close race in the state. Both of Georgia's Senate seats are going to a runoff in January, and that has the potential to decide the control of the U.S. Senate. You guys sensing a pattern here? It's delayed results. Let's take a look at Nevada, which is now the subject of national attention for being by far and away the most behind with counting. 87% reporting Joe Biden has a lead of nearly 20,000 votes, a lead the Decision Desk HQ expects he'll keep, but they'll say it's still too early to call the state.
So Rob, what exactly are we waiting for here? It seems like this keeps dragging on, and quite frankly, a lot of Americans may be getting tired of waiting. When can we expect the election to be called?
Well, you know, it's funny you should say that because the election actually was called by one outlet, that is Decision Desk HQ. They're saying the great state of Pennsylvania has flipped and given Joe Biden that victory with 270, but they are the only outlets. They're saying that Philadelphia and all those Democratic voters that turned out in absentee is the reason that they say that state is flipping, but for more outlets to pick it up, we're going to have to wait specifically on Maricopa County and Arizona. Back to you.
So Rob, real quickly, one more question for you here. So Michigan was carried by Joe Biden in this election, so it appears. How important was that state to the result we may end up seeing here?
Well, guys, when we were looking early at the race and we looked at the Midwest, it seemed that it was going back to that 2016 Clinton map of getting wiped out in the Midwest. Ohio did go red, but Michigan put it back, and so did Wisconsin. Detroit playing a big factor, 96% to 4% in favor of Joe Biden with those Democratic votes. and that's definitely putting that damper for Donald Trump there, and Biden is very comfortable with that lead now because of those states, but guys, he's not over 270 just yet.
Thanks, Rob. Hope we can get a call soon there then. The latest in the battle of control for the Senate, though. 4 elections across the nation have yet to be called. In North Carolina, incumbent Tom Tillis leads challenger Cal Cunningham by about 100,000 votes. With 50% of the vote reported in Alaska, Republican Dan Sullivan holds a strong lead over Democrat Al Gross.
There's also going to likely be 2 Senate runoffs in Georgia. These elections will probably be held in January. The Democratic Party would need to win both of these runoffs in order to gain control of the Senate.
And the latest, more than 121,000 COVID-19 cases in one day. Cases are surging in the United States, and there were more cases yesterday than any other day of the pandemic since its start.
Infections are climbing higher in 43 states. Hospitalizations broke records in 16 states, and over 1,000 people died yesterday. Boston has issued a stay-at-home advisory for its residents from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. The order has limited people to only doing essential activities during those hours. And employers have added over 638,000 jobs all in the month of October. The economy is undergoing its gradual recovery from the pandemic, as unemployment is now down to 6.9%.
Consumer spending at places such as restaurants, barbers, and medical health care centers are bouncing back, but numbers still remain about 7% below the pre-pandemic rates.
And I have some great news heading into this week and into the weekend as we look down the road. I'll break down all the nice weather to come in 90 seconds.
Have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader. From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
All right, so today has been great, and this afternoon has been great. Now let's get into tomorrow. We're going to start the day off at around 59 degrees, and then as we go from 9 a.m. to noon within the span of about 3 hours, we're going to see a 10-degree jump. Weather's going to be great, and personally, I think if you're going to go outside tomorrow, the best time to do so is around 12 to 4 p.m. That'll be the nicest. Clear skies, the sun will be out, and of course, as you can see here, that's when the temperatures will be the warmest. Of course, as we get into the afternoon and to later into the day, it will drop a little bit, but we're still sitting at 60, and it's going to be mostly clear skies into Saturday. Now, of course, I could not talk about this week if I didn't talk about my outdoor conditions and activity outlook. This is probably going to be the last nice weekend here at SU. We never know what weather looks like. It was snowing on Monday, so of course that's too hard to call this far back, but if you want to get out, this is a great time to do so. And we're going to be seeing some clear skies, like I said, and highs in the 70s. So of course I had to put the outdoor outlook at very high. Now looking across the map here, we're of course not the only ones enjoying this nice weather. We see a nice belt of around 60 degrees kind of going around central upstate, but more we focus on Ithaca, bordering places seem to be sharing those nicer weathers. Guys?
Thanks, Walker. Starbucks is looking to be both festive and friendly to this environment this holiday season with reusable holiday cups. The limited edition cups can only be picked up by ordering a holiday or fall-themed drink. The special offer is only available while supplies last and can be received through in-person, drive-through, or mobile ordering.
Thanks. Syracuse football takes on Boston College on Saturday, and SU field hockey tries to reach the ACC tournament final. All that and more right after the break.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, look at the rain. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome into sports. I'm Jacob Morris. Syracuse football welcomes Boston College into the Dome on Saturday. The Orange have lost 4 straight games, and Rex Culpepper has struggled in replacement of the injured Tommy DeVito. Culpepper was under center for 11 possessions in Saturday's loss to Wake Forest. The result? 85 passing yards, 2 interceptions, and 7 total points. On the flip side, Dino Babers played freshman Jacobian Morgan for 1 possession. He finished 7 of 7 for 59 yards and a touchdown. Despite the late spark provided by Morgan, Babers isn't changing his opinion on the quarterback situation.
My big thing is we're going to continue to evaluate those guys, and we're going to put the best guy out there that gives us an opportunity to win. You know, we appreciate what both of them have done. We appreciate what Tommy's done. And it's just one of those situations where you got to continue to evaluate and see exactly where they're at. And at the same time, not giving away too much information to your opponents who are also trying to prepare for you.
Syracuse field hockey is in Chapel Hill this week for the ACC tournament. The Orange defeated Duke last night in a thriller. Laura Graziosi scored the game winner in the 63rd minute to give SU a 3-2 victory. The win over the Blue Devils advanced Syracuse to a semifinal matchup today with North Carolina. The Orange and the Tar Heels got underway around 4 p.m. Syracuse mounted a furious comeback in the 4th quarter, capped by Haley Bitter's goal in the final minute to send this one to overtime. But the Orange couldn't finish this one off. Bryn Boylan converted a penalty opportunity 5 minutes into OT to give the Tar Heels the win. North Carolina has now won 55 out of its last 56 games. Here's a quick look at that ACC tournament bracket. North Carolina advances to face top-seeded Louisville in the ACC championship. The Cardinals beat the Tar Heels earlier this season. The loss broke a 47-game winning streak for UNC. Louisville and North Carolina are scheduled to get underway Sunday at noon. In the NFL, the Packers dominated the 49ers 34-17 last night. Green Bay took advantage of an injured San Francisco squad and jumped out to a 34-3 lead. It was the Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams show all night long. Rodgers threw for 305 yards and 4 scores, while Adams finished with 173 receiving yards and a touchdown. The win moved Green Bay to 6-2 on the season and gives them sole possession of the NFC North. And finally, in Major League Baseball, just hours after Steve Cohen completed his purchase of the Mets, the billionaire is already cleaning house. GM Brody Van Wagenen is gone after 2 seasons with the team, and so are several other front office members. Cohen wrapped up the purchase earlier today, ending the Wilpon family's 34-year run owning the franchise.
And so, Jacob, we have a big game tomorrow on the Hill, Syracuse and Boston College. I got to ask for a prediction. Who you got?
Got Boston College. They boast Phil Jurgovich, a transfer from Notre Dame. He'll be too much for that Syracuse defense. Boston College big, Anthony.
And you mentioned the starting quarterback situation between Rex Culpepper and Jacobian Morgan. I'm going to put you in the shoes of Dino Babers. You got to make a decision. Who do you want to see going forward for the rest of the season?
I want to see Jacobian Morgan. I think it checks the boxes of developing a quarterback for the future. And also, I think Jacobian Morgan, gives you the best chance to win, especially against the Boston College team.
Thank you very much, Jacob. And coming up, one last look at your weather.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. We're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah. Yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
All right, now I mentioned, of course, a great weekend, but looking at the rest of the start of this week, things are looking great. We got a hat trick right here of clear skies, and now sunny and 71. I'm not complaining, not as nice of a ring to it, and it's looking fairly nice. Just a great day to get out on the quad, really make use of those painted circles on the quad before they get covered with snow. Now Wednesday will kind of interfere in your week here with some rain, but hopefully the week kind of trails out with some of this nicer weather that we've been talking about. Guys.
Thank you very much, Walker. And good news for skiers and snowboarders this winter as New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has announced winter sports resorts will be reopening today with limited capacity within buildings and with mandatory masks. With lodges operating at roughly 50% capacity, the mountains must remain below 25% capacity. And Anthony, quickly here, just talking about this election, obviously the thing that's on everybody's mind, people focus on the presidential race, but there have been a lot of down ballot races in Syracuse that really matter.
Yeah, and what we've seen is that the Republicans have done much better than the polls or a lot of people anticipated down the ballot. So while Democrats will be happy that they won and that they are likely to win the presidential race, big win for John Katko in New York's 24th, big win for Claudia Tenney, it looks like, in New York's 22nd. So they're going to be able to not only not lose seats, but gain seats in the House of Representatives.
Very good point.
Yeah, so that's all the time we have for you on Citrus TV News live at 6. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Citrus TV News for the latest on the 2020 election, SU coronavirus cases, and more. I'm Anthony Dabbundo.
And I'm Michael Furnari. Have a safe weekend, Syracuse.